Hi guys, John Mansell, exboozehound. Hope you're alright. Now, this is the C word vlog, which is usually much earlier. It's done much earlier, but I have tried to do a few vlogs over the last few weeks, and I just haven't been able to do them. I've been able to string together a sentence, and I haven't been able to get it all right. But today, the 13th, Friday the 13th, it needs to be done. So I have no option but to get it done. So it could end up being totally and utterly rubbish. And notice no swear words. Now, stuff in my vlogs is very rarely scripted. Sometimes I use notes with regards to statistics, and I've used perhaps old posts of mine in the past. I've got a couple of things that I've got scripted here today. These are the things that I cannot talk about, because if I do, I could end up losing my temper, losing management of my emotion, or totally and utterly losing the plot. So I'm keeping those there. I can't touch on those subjects. Now, I've often said that in the past, and I've gone ahead and talked about them. And this is something to explain why I haven't been able to do the C word vlog. So I'm just going to get that bit out of the way. Now, I posted this on Facebook the other day. And you know, you can put that there, I'm feeling, and it was feeling thoughtful, and it says far too thoughtful. If you follow my posts over the years, you may have noticed me using these words: never give up. I mentioned this somewhere in the new book. Never miss an opportunity, do I? The new book, obviously available on Amazon, A to Z Guide of Navigating Mental Illness, Addiction and Associated Issues. I got a nice little payment for some of the books sold the other day. So thank you very much for all of you that have bought one. You can now buy them directly from me. This is one of the things I'm not meant to be mentioning. You can buy them directly from me. Give us a shout. But yeah, thank you. If you bought one, it really means a lot to me. There's been a few 5-star reviews put on there, which is fantastic. Thank you. There's a little Robin come to say hello. Yeah, yes, that's a little message, that is, that all is going to be cool. Hello, mate. I reckon your name is Rufus. Yeah, so thank you, and thank you for reviewing it. And there's been I've had some very, very emotional messages sent to me that have mean a lot to me, so thank you. I mentioned this somewhere in the new book. Sometimes the only thing that you can do is give up, but not in a negative way. I currently have absolutely no management of my noggin whatsoever, and trying to regain any sort of management of my noggin is wasting an awful lot of energy that I need for more important stuff like staying sane and not losing the plot. So for the time being, I'm going to do exactly the opposite to something I've been saying for many years. Time for me to give up, but in a positive way, and only for a short while. All will be cool, shaker. Please notice I haven't used the word control. I believe strongly that when you have a mental health issue, or when you have mental health issues, there is no such thing as control. The closest we can ever get is management, and accepting that is a very powerful tool to aid your management of your illness, and it will help your recovery to keep moving forward. Now again, accepting is in those little comma things. That's because it's mentioned in the book as well. Okay, no more mentions of the book. So I've got a t-shirt on today that has an image that I created a while back when I wasn't in the best of moods, as you can probably tell. That's got my motto on, by the way. Enjoy the good and ride out the bad. And I don't know whether I'm going to be able to show you across my big fat belly. It says, here comes the C word. Now, obviously that means here comes Christmas. But obviously, straight away, as soon as I looked at it, I noticed that under a picture of myself, it says, here comes the C word. So I'm basically announcing to people when I wear this t-shirt that I'm a bit of one of those words. Okay. So see, I've got absolutely no management of my noggin. I'm just all over the shop. But every Christmas I do a C word vlog. And usually it's pretty much the same. I noticed, I think last year I did it around about the 5th or 6th of December. And I think what I said at the time, obviously in 20 days time, it'll all be over. And obviously now today on the 13th of December, in 2 weeks time, we won't even be having to be worried about Boxing Day. All we're going to have to worry about is how much weight we've put on over that period. But then it don't really matter either, because there's much more important things in the world to worry about than having a bit of ballast on, fortunately. Now, over the last few months, I have actually lost about a stone. None of it around my stomach. I don't know whether it's all the different medication that I'm taking, whether it's the withdrawal of my antidepressants, which I've not had for a number of months yet, and not once has the NHS followed that up to see how I'm getting on, which I think is an interesting thing to comment, which again is another thing on the list that I'm not meant to mention. So Christmas, it's one day. It literally is one day. And I've got something that I really want to do this time next week, a bit later on. The lads are meeting up for a get together. I think some of them are playing golf during the day, and then they're going out for a booze up on the evening, organised by one of my mates called Boozy. He always organises it, and nobody ever thanks him. Thanks, Boozy. Now at the moment, although what I'm portraying to you, I may seem okay, I am far from it. I am very unstable. I'm going from thinking I need to contact my local mental health facility about can I get my antidepressants back, but I really can't contact them, because the last time I went in they were absolutely useless, and it's made me fear them. It's another thing that I'm not meant to mention within this vlog. Not doing very well so far. If anybody's watching from the NHS, anybody senior, it's an absolute joke. They've been really good recently, but they were absolutely useless. Right, get back onto it, John. Okay, Christmas is one day. That's all it is. He's back again, the Robin. It's all it is. Now, I want to go to this thing with the lads. I really do. But if I waste my energy now worrying about whether I'm going to be okay this time next week, the chances are I'll end up that I'm not going to be okay. And the lads know me well enough to know that I've got issues. They'll be all on the piss, which can be difficult, but it's also can be very amusing. Even if I just turn up for an hour or so, that'll be cool. But I'm not worrying about it. I'm not worrying about it. It'll be what it'll be. Now, I used to really worry about Christmas, the build-up, and oh God, am I going to be well enough and stuff like that. I was talking to somebody around about the 2nd of December, and they said, Christmas is ruined, I'm not well, I'm not going to be well by Christmas. And I said, what date is it today? And they said 2nd of December. And I said, well, it's 23 days until Christmas. You carry on thinking like this, then you will ruin Christmas for yourself. So put that to the back of your mind and just get on with it. And that's what you got to do. I know, don't get me wrong, I know how difficult that is to do. But if you do manage to just take a step back and remember that Christmas is just one day, and that your illness, whether it be mental or addiction or whatever, it is just that. So if you contact your family and friends on Christmas Day just to say Merry Christmas, I'm not feeling very well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Let's pause there for a second. I don't know when I paused it. If you feel unwell on Christmas Day morning, that's no different to phoning them up and saying, sorry, I can't come, I've got a horrendous dose of the squits. It's an illness, that's all it is. Mental illness is an illness. If you're unwell, you're unwell. Now, they might say, I'll go on, give it a go. But preempt that by telling yourself that you're not going to worry about it. It's just a day. In 14 days' time, it'll be 2 days gone. Christmas Day is just one day. A lot of families do a Boxing Day thing as well. Don't think about it until that day. Yes, you might have to go out and get presents and do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. There's so many important things that's going on. If you look at what's going on in the world at the moment, for somebody to be upset that you haven't managed to go out and get them a present, it's just pathetic. Do not let this time of year destroy you, because you know there's a lot of pressure coming on now again with the new year. Oh, new year, it'll all be great, it'll all be fantastic. It's a new beginning and all that. Rubbish. If you live life the way I do, the way I have to, you live each day exactly the same, one day at a time. So January the 1st is exactly the same to me as September the 7th. No difference whatsoever. Do not let it own you. Own it. Just like you have to do with your illness. You have to own your own illness and you have to own your own recovery. Do not worry about other people's feelings. Be selfish. In order for you to maintain your own recovery, you need to have some sort of selfishness. Right. At the start of this vlog, I said I wasn't going to talk about certain things. I mentioned most of them. However, I didn't lose the plot to them. So that's cool, but I have mentioned most of the ones I didn't. Hello, squirrel. They're all coming out to say hello to me today. I also mentioned that this was probably going to be absolute rubbish, and it probably is. So I do apologise. But here's a thing to make you smile. I have been a bar humbug my whole life. I put up my Christmas decorations on the 2nd of December. And yesterday, at the age of 51, I bought myself my first ever Christmas jumper. And I can do that because I don't allow Christmas to own me. Yes, I got annoyed on round about the 1st of October about Christmas when I bought a bag of Walker's crisps. Other crisps are available, and it had got some crappy pun about Crispmas. I was going down the escalator and I was really annoyed. But later on that day, I saw the Aldi advert, other supermarkets are available, with Kevin the Carrot, and the lines about the case with the false bottom and the booby trap. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed as well as I've noticed, those are cheeky little lines that adults will understand, like Captain Pugwash with semen stains and masturbates. Kids wouldn't understand it, but adults do. Do not let Christmas destroy you. It's a day. If you can't get involved, don't get involved. Simple as that. People will just have to accept it. And if they can't accept it, that's their problem. Just don't worry about it. I know it's hard to say, but I used to be where you are. It used to destroy me, but I've been able to change that by reprogramming my understanding of what I have to do. I don't have to do a single thing that I don't want to do, and I won't do a single thing that I don't want to do. And that's where the selfishness comes in. You have to have a certain level of selfishness. You got to look after you. If you don't look after you, you can't help others, or you got to look after you first. Right, gone on for 16 minutes 20. It's been absolute rubbish. I'm going to post it anyway. Yeah, there'll be some new interesting vlogs ready for the new year. I've got a really big project that I've been working on for the last few months, really, since I lost the plot in September. I've been involved in a couple of things over the last week or so that have made me have to be quite selfish. And if those people who are watching the vlog, you'll know who you are. I've had to be selfish for my own good. My priority, although I've helped you guys out in the past, and I will probably in the future, my priority is me, and my trying to make sure I don't end up in a pile of shite. Well done, John. You really messed that up at the end, didn't you? Right, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. As always, enjoy the good and ride out the bad. Do not let the bastards grind you down. Look after yourself and look after others. Take it easy. Bye-bye.